Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Sagebrush Happy Hour Journal entry for July 6th, 2026. And it's a Monday. And I almost always do a journal entry on Monday, and then I'm not so good about doing them more often than that and the rest of the week. I try to at least get a journal entry in a week. And I'm realizing that a lot can happen in a week, and I need to do journal entries more often so that I can make the journal entries shorter, more interesting, and more often rather than ramble on once a week. And also, since I stopped doing the Skylapser Deep Sage 9 podcast about astronomy, is I probably need to talk a little bit about astronomy subjects too more in the Sagebrush Journal. That said, today is hot. It is summer, and you can see that the clouds, it's mostly overcast, and the smoke is really thick from wildfires. This whole week has been horrible with smoke, with the fires up in around Beulah, Colorado, and we had one just west of us called the Beehive Fire, and then of course there's the Babylon Fire out in Utah, and so the West is burning, and so dealing with the smoke has always been one of the issues here in the summertime, and with global climate change, of course. So last week I did the journal entry with my mom, who was here visiting, and she's now safely back in Titusville, Florida, at her normal residence. So we spent a couple days, messing around Taos, and then spent a day at the American Indian Museum in Santa Fe, and then she flew out last Friday just before for Independence Day. And we didn't do a whole bunch for Independence Day, and so, but among the things last week when we were puttering around Taos, as we went to the thrift stores, and I found this great new hat that fits me for $20. And so my older hat that you may have seen was wearing out and tearing, and so got a new hat, and it's about to get blown off by the wind gust. And we also got a Roomba vacuum cleaner in a J7 model, which is an older model, but still, it originally retailed for around $600, and we picked this up at barely used at the thrift store for $100, and so that was kind of a good bargain. And of course, it took me a couple days to get around to actually programming it and getting it to map our house and start actually doing its job of vacuuming. And we've named it Bender, after the robot from Futurama. And so, and now I've got it under voice command, and it can get pretty funny sometimes. But so that's one of the other things that's happened. We've got the hot tub up and operating over there, and I've got to spend a couple sessions in the hot tub, and so that's always a good thing. I'm doing some work getting all the chemicals balanced and the water clean and that sort of thing. And other than that, one other thing was we had Aurora Borealis visible from here on the 3rd, the night of the July 3rd, and I was able to put out a time lapse and capture that. And so we got and it was kind of cloudy and smoky, and in between the clouds and the smoke, I got fairly good pictures with time lapse of the aurora. And then the following night, I didn't know it at the time. I did put out a time lapse, and it didn't capture the phenomena that I'm just about to talk about. But I have meteor camera, which is kind of calibrated for capturing meteors in the northern sky, and it runs on some special software, and it reports to an international community called the Global Media Network. However, on that camera, there were some far-off thunderstorms, and actually it was a pyro thunderstorm from the fire over Beulah, Colorado. I forget what they call it, pyrocumulus nimbus clouds or something like that. And there was a thunderstorm, about 100 miles away. And above that thunderstorm, there appeared some sprites. And so if you don't know what sprites are, I would Wikipedia that. And it's an extremely rare atmospheric phenomena that I've been trying for years to capture. And this is actually the first time I captured that on that meteor camera. So that's up on my Skylapser website and Skylapser YouTube channel, and also I posted it up on my YouTube. I mean, not my YouTube, my Facebook. So in a quick summary, that's what's happening on the Mesa. Cheers, everybody.